another episode of A Wee Touch of Madness, the weekly video podcast, which is hosted by me, Loz, every single week. And this week, I have a brand new guest. Surprise, surprise, it is someone new. Who would have thought? Mental, that, isn't it? Today, I am joined by Years Down. Hi, guys. How you doing?
Doing great.
How's it going?
Yeah, everybody doing all right?
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. So let's move on. Let's get started, shall we? Right. So for the people out there that will be watching this, can you tell us a little bit about yourselves and the music that you do to those out there who may not be aware of what it is that is you do?
So we're a Denver-based, high energy pop punk band, kind of somewhere along the lines of Belmont, 4 Years Strong, with touches of Blink-182 and New Found Glory. We try and mesh that early aughts sound with the early 90s sound as best as possible.
With the early 90s sound as best as possible. Well, you heard it there, folks. The early 90s sound as best as possible. That is actually probably a great answer. I quite like that one. So I have to ask, do you have any plans musically next year, or is there anything that you're currently working on?
So yeah, currently we're working on getting back into the studio here in March. So just trying to tighten up our newest 3 songs that we trying to get perfected and get into the studio and hopefully come out with an EP early next year.
Hopefully come out with an EP early next year. Is there any chance we could maybe hear a sample of what you're working on?
You could actually check out our Instagram, and we have a few clips posted of some of the guitar riffs for one of our newer songs, and we're always updating it with sneak previews of stuff that we're working on and things that we're really excited about showing off to the public. So yeah, just don't be afraid to hit Years Down on Instagram and follow us, and that'd be the best way to catch a lot of our stuff.
So catch you on Instagram. Awesome. So if you're at home, if you didn't catch that, I will have the link to all of their socials down in the description at the end of this, so you can check them out. I highly recommend that you do, because these guys' music is actually pretty good. I've listened to quite a bit of it already, most of it on repeat. What was the song I was listening to at the moment? Better Off. That was the one I've been listening to on pretty much repeat for the last week or so. I like that one. That was a good one.
Yeah, I think that's definitely one of our favorite ones to play live. We get a lot of crowd interaction. Everybody gets really hype and has a great time. And I think I've actually maybe heard people singing along once or twice, which is just mind-blowing. It's fucking awesome. So
that's your favorite one to perform live. Well, you've already answered a question that I was going to ask later on down the line. So this is a question for all of you then. What are the influences that you had that got you into music?
I'd say early on I was more into metal for a while. So I mean, I liked old school 90s like Korn and Slipknot and Disturbed. But then I got introduced to Blink-182 and Green Day, so got kind of transferred into pop punk. So yeah, a lot of the 90s bands back in the day kind of influenced me.
I'm getting a real 90s vibe.
Yeah.
I thought it was Steve Aoki.
Yeah, him too.
My first concert was Green Day and Jimmy Eat World, actually, when I was in 6th grade, and it just that set me down the pop punk avenue. I was super into Green Day. Good Charlotte too was actually one of the bands I was really into back in the day, and we actually cover them here and there for funsies because that gets people hyped. But
for funsies,
pop punk, born and bred, dude.
For funsies.
Yeah, it's a Colorado thing. It's
right,
not.
Okay.
It's not.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
I actually I started out on trombone in middle school, and I got into ska music, and that led me into punk music. So I started with, Streetlight Manifesto and Real Big Fish and all that. And they have influences of punk in there and pop punk. And eventually I picked up the bass and started playing along, covers to Blink-182, Green Day, that kind of stuff. And that's kind of what got me in there too.
That's a bit of a weird transition. I've not really heard that one before, going from trombone to ska to pop punk. That's actually a very weird transition there.
Just a little.
Just a little.
So for myself, it was these 3 music videos that I distinctly remember seeing, and it just like changed my life in terms of like what I wanted to do and where I wanted to go with, just being a person. And it was it was Fall Out Boy, Dead on Arrival, where it's like the tour footage and like they're going to like all the shows and like they're getting crowd surfed at like right against the ceiling and shit like that. Newfound Glory, My Friends Over You, and then Good Charlotte, Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. And like I was just sold on it. Like just absolutely, like I love the energy. The vibe was just 100% there for me with the lyrics, and just everything about it seems so fun and awesome. And ever since then, that's all I've ever wanted to do, and that's kind of influenced my music taste pretty much almost 100%. I mean, I definitely delved into some heavier stuff like metalcore and hardcore as I got older. Like I've really been jamming Knocked Loose lately and stuff like that. But and then of course A Day to Remember, I can't leave them out. Like they absolutely are a huge influence of mine personally too. So
Well, I remember the first time I heard Good Charlotte, and that was actually from the American Pie films. That's how I started getting into them myself. So then, if there was someone like artist or band that you could do a collaboration with, who would it be and why? Oh, I didn't save all the tough questions, did I?
Well, it's interesting because I think if John was here too, we'd all answer that a little bit differently, because the influences that we bring to the table, like, all come in the same vein of music, but we all have, we all draw influence from like bands in a little bit different genres. Sometimes ones the other hasn't even heard of. So that's why I think our new stuff is really cool, because we're kind of pulling from all these different influences, more than just like the 2 or 3 bands that are like popular at the moment. For me personally, I'm really into Belmont and have been for a while now, and so is Griff, and I think they're so technical and unique and talented. So that's who I've been listening to a lot, that I've really been trying to channel. I'm nowhere near as good as those guys, but yeah,
they absolutely slap. It's so fucking. We're gonna go see him in November, and I'm just beyond hyped. Like it's gonna be so fucking awesome.
Awesome stuff. All right, anyone else? Who else would you like to do a collaboration with then?
4 Years Strong would be super sick. Obviously, Newfound Glory. Like them being the literal kings of pop punk. That would be dope as fuck. But I mean, there's so many new bands coming out now that like have amazing energy that it would be cool as fuck to work with. Like, Settle Your Scores, Aim High's doing some like absolutely just nonsense, like just fucking crazy shit with the way that they're doing their vocals and like handling riffs and shit like that. Like there's just so many people doing so much interesting and new and unique and different and cool in the industry right now. And there's just almost too many for me personally. I don't know about the rest of the guys.
Honestly, any band signed to any major label, I'll collaborate with you, man. So if you guys are down,
that's a very honest answer.
and if you're not, and Miley Cyrus, if you're listening, let's do something.
Yeah, where are you at, Miley?
Nice little plug there. Nice little shout out for a plug. Cool. So can you explain to me the creative process that you have when you create your music, you know, when you get the idea to the conception to when you actually like lay it down in the studio?
I'd say for me, normally I come up with like a melody in my head and start writing lyrics to it, and then just kind of build off of that from there. So I'll usually like write a verse and a chorus, and just kind of throw it out there. And if all the other guys like it and dig it, then we start building off of that from there. Add different parts, and depending on who writes the melodies or lyrics and stuff like that, we all kind of change to make it our own.
Yeah,
I
it's
guess.
definitely a really collaborative process. Yeah, like
Yeah.
there's some times where we'll come up with a riff at practice and we'll just basically build on that, or myself and Dylan will go off and write something, or John and Ben will go off and write something with Sterling, or like it's honestly it's a big team effort at the end of the day. Like I don't necessarily know that it's really just one person doing even half the work sometimes. Like sometimes Ben will write 3/4 of a song and I'll come in and finish it up, or I'll get his advice on how to wrap up a song that I'm working on, or like it's really cool how we all can kind of jump in and not have to worry about anyone getting their feelings hurt or anything like that. It's like a really good environment to like write and create. It's fucking awesome.
Well, it's not often that I hear that of like of bands actually working together to create something. Usually there's one person who takes the lead and takes control of the whole thing. So that's actually quite refreshing to hear that it is actually a team effort. So that's refreshing. And Ben, I was actually surprised by your answer when I thought you were going to say, well, when I come up with an idea, I strum it through my beard with my fingers and that's my beat.
You must have saw that picture where we were standing on that concrete ledge. I was going like this.
Yeah, that's where I got it from. That's where I kind of thought you were going to go. Yeah, I just strum through my beard and then, oh, I have an idea.
I need to start doing that more often.
Oh,
Griff,
definitely.
what do you mean nobody gets their feelings hurt?
One more time, what'd you say?
What do you mean nobody gets their feelings hurt?
I sense tension. Come on.
Oh yeah, Dylan's our resident diva, so.
Oh yeah, that's me.
So he might get his feelings hurt, I guess. I don't know. I don't think so, not really.
He loves it, really.
He's pretty tough, yeah. He's a glutton for punishment, for sure.
Well, I'm not hearing any denial there from you, Dylan, so you must be a bit of a glutton for punishment.
My mute button's not working.
So what is the one thing that you wish you had known now that you could have taken back to your younger selves at the start of your music career?
I would say I wish I would have told myself to practice more. Just a lot of skills that I could have learned earlier on that would have been able to build off on. And I think that would have been a lot better than what I am right now if I would have just practiced a little bit more,
I agree. Practice. It would be cool if I could do sicker drum solos, or maybe put in a drum solo in our set.
Nobody actually likes drum solos though, except for the drummer.
You know what? That is actually
that's not
very
true.
true.
I like drum solos.
Yeah, well, okay. I know I keep saying this in a lot of my episodes, but for you watching at home, if you refer back to the episode I done with Keith Barnes, episode 2 of season 1, you know how much of an ego drummers have. So they will say anything to make themselves seem like amazing.
That's because we're in the back, man. We never get noticed as much,
It's true. Getting pictures of him at shows is like fucking impossible sometimes.
Right. So other than Instagram, where can your fans or anybody watching this connect with you online if they just want to pop in and say hello?
We're pretty active on all social channels. I mean, if somebody drops us a message on Facebook or Instagram, we usually hit you back within a few minutes. Griff's pretty on top of that too. We have a link tree as well that, I mean, you can see our upcoming shows. You can hear snippets of songs. You can buy merch. You can ask us questions. And
It shoots to our Twitter. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just years down, right, Griff? Or years down band for the link tree?
Yeah. And it's in our Instagram bio too, almost positive.
Well, I do actually have that link. You sent that to me, which that's actually how I listen to your music. You sent that link to me. So for all of you at home, if you did miss that and you want to connect with them, you want to give them a follow, I will have the link to their link tree down in the description. Instead of doing the individual links for all of the individual ones, I'll just have that one link all there for you so you can get it there and then. Right, guys, now it's time for us to move on to the nitty-gritty part of the interview, where this can be quite controversial to some people, could be a laugh for other people, depending on your psychotic ability, your mental aptitude, if you will. So I hope you're ready for this, because with these questions, they are quite difficult, and with me, there is no safe word. I don't care if you're crying, I'll keep going.
That's hot.
I'm ready for it. Let's have it.
That's hot. Brilliant. That's the best response I've had to that one. Right. Are you ready for this? Are you ready for your first super serious question?
Let's get serious.
Okay. What is the most useless word?
Safe words.
I like that. That's probably the best one.
That's a hard one to follow. Yeah, can't really follow that.
That was absolutely amazing. That was just straight off the gun. Bang. No, there you go. In your face.
Let's say doorknob.
No, doorknob.
Yeah. I don't find myself using that word very much.
Okay. So we have
or Republican.
Okay. No, political. I sense political there.
Well, you said nitty gritty, and that this might get offensive, so that was one of the more offensive things that I could think of. Maybe
Fair enough. You know what? And as because I did say that, and you did point out that I said that, I won't edit out that answer because you caught me in my own game. Right. So, what is the most trouble that you have been in? Now, please remember, nothing too super duper illegal. Try and keep it PG. I see Ben kind of panicking there at that one.
I'm gonna have to go with DUI. Yeah, I like to drink, but that was 15 years ago, something like that.
I've not met a musician yet who doesn't like to have a drink.
Oh, I definitely do.
I got arrested for possession at my college. I was smoking weed in my dorm room in Kentucky, and it's still super, super, super illegal there. And I got 100% busted. And yeah, it's probably about it. Otherwise, I haven't gotten in trouble too much, luckily.
Okay. I'm actually kind of looking forward to hearing what Sterling's answer is, because he kind of looks like the quiet choir boy in the background who wouldn't say boo to a goose. So I'm quite interested to hear what his answer is.
Well, I was an idiot high schooler, and I was walking around with my friends, and we had BB guns, airsoft guns, and we were just carrying them around, walking down the street. And we had cops, like literally 2 or 3 cop cars pull us over. Like, we had to lay on the ground. They had their guns pointed at us. Luckily, we weren't convicted or anything, but yeah, we were definitely laying on the ground, hands above our head, everything. So yeah, that was fun.
You weren't arrested?
I was not arrested.
White privilege.
I was carrying a pistol, and I saw, as soon as I saw the cops try to throw it in the bush, and then one of the cops saw me and was like, "I know what you did. Go grab that gun." And I was like, "Okay, all right." So,
okay, yes, sir. No problem, sir.
Basically, when you have a gun pointed at you, there's not really many other options you can say there. So
No, Daddy, don't touch me there, touch me here.
Choke me, daddy.
That works for sure. Yeah.
There we go. There's another answer for you there. Right. Well, you've already answered this question for me, which is what is your favorite song to perform? So, other than Better Off, is there another song that you love to perform?
Mine would probably be Famous. I don't know if we've dropped that one yet. I thought we were dropping that pretty soon, or
That's November 19th. Actually, we'll be dropping that song with our music video that's going to be made up of tour footage. I'll like I said, Fall Out Boy, like my heroes.
Well, you heard it here. So there's going to be a brand new song coming out in the next couple of weeks. So make sure you get on that. Make sure you listen to it. And when the music video drops for it as well, make sure you watch it, because knowing these guys and just from talking to them, I have a feeling that it is actually going to be pretty epic. So do yourself a favor and check it out. Now, obviously, because you do have that new project coming out, do you want to talk about it a little bit more so we can get a bit of promotion run up for it?
Sure, I'd love to. So the song in and of itself is, if you were just to take it off of the face of the song, like the chorus and everything like that, you would think it's mainly about, just wanting to get famous and kind of being like fame hungry and shit like that. And in a way it sort of is, but in a lot of ways it's really not. If you delve kind of deeper into the meat of the verses, like it's got a lot of notes about self-doubt and trying to figure out who you are and not having the support of the people around you, and still having the passion and the fire to like push through and fight and like show them that you are worth something and you are capable of doing what you say you want to do and shit like that.
Oh, that actually sounds really interesting, and I actually can't wait to hear it when it comes out. And I know, even though I'm interviewing you guys, I know there's probably going to be no chance that I'll be able to hear a little sample before it goes out, unless unless you like me, then I'm sure I might get a sample.
I say you've definitely slid into our DMs already, so I mean, we might be able to hook a little something up.
Oh, I'm good like that. I'm always slipping into like that to get what I want.
Well, what do you think the most useless word is? And depending on your answer, that's how we decide if you get to see it or not.
Westminster.
Oh, the shade.
We'll accept that, right, guys?
absolutely.
I have another one as well. Tories.
Thought we weren't going to get political.
Yeah, we weren't. But
Yeah.
Dylan kind of opened up that kettle of fish, so I'm like, right, okay, fuck it.
I like
Why
it.
not? So, what are your thoughts on the music industry as it stands today?
I would say it's kind of a double-edged sword here. So everything is gone kind of digital, which is nice. So it's easier for DIY to make it, but at the same time, there's been a lot of push with auto-tune and lip syncing and that kind of stuff, and so it's just you have to find the right niche to get in there. And honestly, it's hard to find that niche. So I mean, it's easier for you to make your music and do it yourself, but you have to be, in the right area for that music, I think.
I think if we're just talking about the music industry as a whole, like with what's happening, I mean, I don't know how everyone here feels about MGK, but personally, I don't think his album's like totally that bad. That's definitely some.
Sorry, who?
MGK.
Who's that?
Oh no.
Machine Gun Kelly.
Machine Gun Kelly. He's massive out here. Yeah, in like
Motorboat
pop
Barbie.
right now.
I've never heard of Motorboat Barbie. Who's that?
I was like, there's no way this guy hasn't heard. Yeah, like his album has a couple bangers on it, and I definitely have a feeling Travis Barker had a lot to do with that. But it's nice to see like pop punk like back on the radio again, like it was when I was younger. And even if like he doesn't ever actually like pull up any small bands like, you know,
I think we
Wilnet or
can also
Belmont.
kind of thank Tony Hawk Pro Skater Remaster for bringing pop punk back into the heads of everybody.
Oh,
That
without a
certainly
doubt,
helped
that
relive my
soundtrack
childhood.
slaps.
Oh yeah, definitely. I was like, oh, I remember this song. Was I'm trying to do a fucking ollie and crash in and throw my controller at the TV.
Yeah, so like I think it's cool to have pop punk on the radio again. I think it gives us a lot more opportunity in terms of getting a chance to like grow the community, especially with like younger people that might not have otherwise gotten into it. I mean, Olivia Rodrigo is like, you know, she's basically pop punk. Like, I don't know why they call her pop so much as they do, but her shit's like straight like pop punk. Like you could throw some heavier guitars under it, and you've got yourself like a pit mover for sure.
Yeah.
So I think that's definitely awesome that that's going on. And like I said earlier in the interview, there's like a ton of new people and new creative energy that's like coming through in the local scenes and stuff like that. And I think that's just fucking awesome. I'll stop rambling. My bad.
No, it's fine. Anyone else want to answer that one? No?
I'll take the next one.
You'll take the next one. Okay. And well, just to go back on Sterling's answer, I actually very much agree with you there. My view is that if any artist uses auto tune, shouldn't really have the audacity to call themselves an artist. I mean, you either like the voice that you've got and record with the voice you got and hope someone likes it, or you just don't bother. Because then if you're going to perform live and the auto-tune fails halfway through your set, what are you going to do?
That's a good point. I'd never considered that.
Milli Vanilli.
So how do you feel that the internet has impacted the music industry then?
So I was going to say double-edged sword, but Sterling already used that.
Yes, so, pointless word, isn't it?
About a double-edged butter knife.
Double-edged butter knife.
Double-edged butter knife. So
what kind of butter knives are you using?
It's America, dude.
Yeah, but even our knives have guns.
Exactly. Everything's dangerous.
And our guns have knives. But yeah, I mean, dude, it's done good and bad. I think my favorite thing about it is if that there could be some real talent, some real amazing artists that can record an album at home, you know, and have the ability to like just solely because of like social media, Spotify algorithms or whatever, just completely pop off. Somebody who never would have been able to do that, you know, without the money of like a big record label backing them. So like you have emergent talent now all the time of like people you hadn't even heard. But on the flip side of that, now it's kind of turned into like you're gonna have to put so much money into marketing. Like you're gonna have to have somebody manage your social media like all the time. It's turned into a whole technological aspect rather than the talent of the artist more so. I mean, there's plenty of talent. So now it's more like, all right, how many free music marketing videos on YouTube can you watch before you go insane? You know, and so it's done good and bad. I like that the community is, like Sterling said, been focusing on a more DIY approach. Like I love that. I love that you can just find somebody to like mix your music in like Argentina or something, you know, like
or in the UK.
Yeah, or the UK. Or even just have podcast interviews like we're doing now. Like we never would have been able to do something like this. But before the age of the internet, you know? So, I mean, just like anything, there's good and bad.
I like that. I like that answer. Kind of rambled, but I like it.
I learned from the best.
You certainly didn't learn it from me. I don't ramble. Moving on.
You don't lie either.
No, I don't lie. I'm far too English to lie.
My family's from Derbyshire, actually.
From where? Sorry.
Derbyshire, England. Yes. That.
He's trolling you.
He's trolling me. All right. Okay. Fair enough. Well, that's nice. Right. Anyone else want to answer that one?
Yeah, I would say definitely along the same lines of what Dylan said. Like, it's been awesome, the reach that social media and just the general digital age has given for smaller based acts like ourselves. But at the same time, like, mixtape culture is like definitely crushing artists because of the expectation of putting out so much content so frequently. It can be really challenging as like a smaller band to like always be able to go into the studio and get like, you know, a decent quality recording done, even if you have the music already. And that's mainly because of, you know, mixtape culture and EDM and stuff like that, where you can basically just kind of hop on, produce a track in, you know, in your house in a couple of days or weeks and have it, you know, shot out to the public in that shortest span of time. And it's just a little bit more challenging for like full bands to do stuff like that, even with recording at home, which we do try and do some of our own recording whenever possible.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Anyone else want to answer that, or shall I move on?
I will add one thing. I think with the streaming aspect of it, it's really nice, but people don't. I don't think necessarily understand that artists don't get really paid for streaming. Spotify, that kind of stuff. Like they think, oh, you guys have like 100,000 streams on a song, you must be making money. It's like,
yeah, I actually brought that up recently myself. I'd done research into it and found out that Spotify only pays 0.004 of a dollar per stream.
Yeah.
And yeah,
it's pretty pitiful.
It is very pitiful. So when someone says, "Oh man, I get paid peanuts," well, in that case, peanuts are actually worth more than the stream. So, yeah.
Good point. Fair point.
Yeah, exactly. Then it's all about content, trying to get yourself out there, but then also to oversaturate the word. The double-edged sword is the fact that the market has become so saturated with so many other bands doing it DIY or bedroom artists trying to get out there. That is to try and find your niche market to push through to get, hey, everybody, come listen to us. We're pretty good. We're pretty cool. Come take a listen. You might like it. You might not, but take a listen anyway. It's kind of hard to try and get through that. I appreciate that. That's why I do these podcasts every week, is because I want to give the platform to people like you, like every week, so that way you can come on, talk about yourself, promote your stuff, and have a good time doing it.
Yeah, honestly, dude, it's been a breeze interviewing with you. Like, we've done a few where it's been kind of tough.
It's because I'm a very nice guy.
I mean,
what do you mean? Do you want to carry on that train of thought there, Dylan? Hey? Hey? Yeah, that's what I thought. You stay quiet. Right, guys, I've only got a couple more questions for you, and then I can let you go on your merry way. So, my first question is, do you sing in the shower? And if you do, what do you sing?
Mostly Rihanna.
I can say for a fact Dylan definitely sings in the shower, and it's Miley Cyrus all the time.
They only say that because, like, every time I play a show, I warm up with Party in the USA. Which, I mean, that's a good guitar riff. And actually, me and Sterling sing Rihanna in the shower together.
Oh my fuck.
I definitely sing in the shower. It's just whatever I'm vibing to lately, or stuff that we're working on a lot of the times, actually. I'll be kind of trying to like tinker with it while I'm in there sudsing up.
Okay.
I like to slap my chest in the shower. I like the sound it makes, with the water slapping.
Like a caveman.
Yeah.
But I just can't get over Sterling. Just straight off the bat, Rihanna. What the fuck?
It is what it is. She's got catchy stuff. What are you gonna say?
He's a man
I
with
think it-
taste. Well,
I
you know,
think it's time I retire that question because the answers are getting more and more ridiculous each week. Right, guys. Have you had fun doing this with me today?
oh, it's been a blast.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thanks for having us, dude. I really appreciate it.
Oh, it's been my absolute pleasure. Would you like to come back on again soon in the future? Maybe to promote your EP when you release it?
Definitely, we would love to. Yeah, we would love to, man. Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
Like I said, interviewing with you has been like a fucking breeze. You're super funny. You're a nice
Oh.
dude. Like,
Oh, stop
Yeah.
it. If I had a shave, you'd see me blush. Stop it, darling.
Can you edit out me and Sterling showering together? I don't think his.
No, that
No.
is staying in.
that's like the highlight of the interview, bro.
That is.
Keep it in. Keep it in.
That. See, look,
All
three
right,
against
just
one.
tell your fiance then before this airs, Sterling.
She's
I
the
thought you
one
were talking to me then. No, that's staying in, man. That is just too brilliant of an answer. That's staying in. Well, everybody, you heard it here first. They would like to come back on. So when they come back on to promote their new EP, which they plan to bring out next year, that will be an absolute blast. And if you at home have any questions that you want to ask them, it's going to be the exact same rules it is every single week with every single guest. The most ridiculous, the most messed up, the most fucked up question you can think of, put it down in the comments and I will read it out to them. Try and throw these guys off their game, especially Dylan. He seems like a little shit and needs to be put in his place.
Can't wait. Ready for it.
In the meantime, I hope everybody has enjoyed themselves with this episode today. And I will see everybody next week for a brand new guest. And if you missed it, I will have all the links to these guys down in the description below. So you can definitely check them out. And I highly recommend that you do check them out. You won't regret it. Now, this has been a Wee Touch of Madness, the video podcast hosted by Madness Records, presented by me, Loz, the funny guy. And I will catch you all next week.